Hello, and welcome to 100% Demon Souls. I am Nerdwords. So, we have a little bit of inventory management to do. This is where the real Dark Souls, or the real Demon Souls, begins. I just want to drop some things off for the most part. And I suppose I have no real reason why I have to show this. I don't have to show this at all. I should do this behind the scenes, but for the most part, I wanted to just do an actual playthrough broadcast. Oh, I only have one thing to repair. That's good. I have plenty of arrows. Okay, let's go to... Oh, wait a second. I'm still in body form. I'm going to switch to soul form. It's been a while since I played Demon Souls, and by that I mean I've played through 2 other games since playing this game, so it's like I'm coming back to it. This whole playthrough is me coming back to it after playing through it like 5 times, and I'm just going like, well, I'm going to play it again, but this time I'm going to stream it, so... Get our souls back, and then go to World 3, Upper Latria. And it looks like I am not wearing the cling ring. I'll put that on. And I think the crescent sword is going to be more useful than the fire sword here, but we'll find out. I think actually blunt weapons do more damage against the gargoyles here, but slashing weapons I think do more damage against a different enemy that we're going to be running into. 63 damage. Okay. So the next gargoyle I fight, I'll use the dragon longsword. I'm going to see how much damage I do. That guy there won't activate. So you can tell which gargoyles are going to activate on these pedestals by looking to see if their hands are holding a sword. This guy was holding a sword. His body's still here, so it should still be there. Yeah. And I don't know if you can see that. I'm going to try and zoom in on it. It is a spiral sword. I think we can get that to drop from the gargoyles, but you can't find it any other way. I think every world has 1 or 2 items that you can only get from a drop, and I kind of lose track as to which ones are which. And now neither of these gargoyles will activate, but you can see up in the air here, we've got a gargoyle that's flying. Man, camera tool is really useful for looking around, isn't it? Yeah, so that gargoyle up in the air, he is going to come down onto the platform as soon as we get close to him. 56, so the crescent sword does more damage. So I'm going to switch back to the crescent sword. Almost every single gargoyle will drop a soul. So not only do you get souls for killing them, but they will drop a soul as well. So it's kind of like 2 in 1. It's hard to say exactly how many souls they're worth since they drop a random soul. It's usually unknown warrior or unknown hero, I think. And some aged spice. And we're gonna end up coming back to this area, but I want to clear the gargoyles from it first. Moonlight Stone Shard. There's a lot of opportunities to fall and die. Renowned Hero Soul right there. There's a lot of opportunities to fall and die, And we're going to try to not let that happen. Oh, man. 6 hits. That took a lot. Well, we're gonna have fun fighting these guys. I am gonna change my item bar a little bit because we're gonna benefit from our crescent moon grass. So this area right here, I'm just gonna show you, is blocked. We can't go through this wall of flesh, but it's gonna come down a little later. And when it comes down, some new enemies are gonna populate this area, and that is why I like to clear the gargoyles first. So neither of those gargoyles on the pedestals has a sword, so they're not going to activate. This guy here has a crossbow. That was a gargoyle crossbow. He will constantly try to keep his distance. And you can get the gargoyle crossbow. It is a drop. It will only drop, I think, from those gargoyles in particular. So it's very hard to get. We got a couple of moonlight stone shards here, and right down here we've got another soul, I believe. Oh, it's a moonlight stone chunk. I was wrong. Moonlight stone is what you need to upgrade the crescent sword. So is it moonlight stone? No, that's moon weapons. Moon shade stone is what you need for crescent. I'm sorry. They like to be confusing, don't they? So Moonlight Stone will make a moon weapon, and Moon Shade Stone will make a crescent weapon. I think crescent is slightly better than moon. They both are weapon upgrades that will scale with your magic stat, but crescent weapons will regenerate your magic points while you're holding them. Not exactly sure why you would make a moon weapon. There might be another benefit to using a moon weapon, but I don't know what it is. So, long staircase there. And I'll just use the camera tool here, because the actual camera wants to mess with us. There's a gargoyle flying right here, and it will drop down to the bridge there as soon as we approach the bridge. And I just want to show you that there is more stairs going up, but we have another wall of flesh here that we can't go through. So, it's time to fight our gargoyle. I think that was 6 hits. I'm pretty sure the guys that are flying in the air have more hit points than the gargoyles that are perched on pedestals. Neither one of these guys has a sword, so they're not going to activate. I'm just going to bait this guy because he has a crossbow. I don't know if you can see that in his shadow. But he's kind of stupid. He will just run right forward. Even though he's got a crossbow, he should know how they work. He runs right into your ranged attacks. I'm sure the other gargoyle with the crossbow does that too, but I just didn't attack him that way. So yeah, just be careful walking across that little area. We picked up a Flamberge. I don't know how to pronounce it. Scales with dex. That's surprising. I mean, it scales with both strength and dex, but primarily dex. It's a bleed weapon, 120 bleed. A unique large sword with a rippled blade. Named for its flame-like appearance, this blade is designed to rend flesh and cause severe bleeding. Thus, it holds a grim reputation for inflicting fatal wounds. And it does look pretty cool. Okay, so we got a gargoyle with a sword. And generally, when they're on the right side pedestal, they tend to just not fly around. They tend to just hang out there. 4 arrows to take him out. Sometimes they'll fly off, and they tend not to fixate on you. They'll just like fly around and get lost in the air until you make yourself available to them. Well, 6 hits. Oh, we got the Spiral Rapier. I'm so glad we got the Spiral Rapier. This thing is pretty cool. It's a piercing weapon. It's primarily scales with dex. A rare rapier with spiral grooves carved into the blade, wielded by the stone gargoyles of Latria. Focused on causing pain and bleeding over dealing damage. Further evidence of the madness of the old monk. I have never actually used the spiral rapier. I just think it looks cool. Aged spice. And this is kind of a tricky ledge. Just be careful. Take your time with it if you're feeling uneasy about it. Going up this spiral staircase, we are going to run into a gargoyle, so I'm going to take it very slow, because you can see him flying in the air. There he is. He's flying right there. As soon as we get close, he's going to drop. 6 hits again. And then you can't pick up that soul until they completely collapse to the ground. If you end up fighting more than one of them at a time, that's a good thing to remember. So we've got this automated elevator. We actually have to walk past it before we go up it. And I strongly recommend that you don't roll to break through these things. If you're accustomed to rolling through to break through scenery, just don't do it in this area. So Stone of Ephemeral Eyes there. I'm immediately putting my shield up because at the top of this elevator we've got another gargoyle. And the camera angle is going to get tricky here because he tends to come right in. So what I did there is once he dropped, I would hit him twice and back up against the wall and then hit him twice as soon as I couldn't move back further anymore. And I just keep doing that to not accidentally fall off the ledge. I know the camera angle really sucks there, but it's one of the cheap ways that Demon Souls tries to kill you. So I'm just going to go up this place to show you that there is more to this tower. There's actually shinies up there. How do we get to it? Well, the world has to be pure white in order for us to get up there. So we will be returning to this location later. And these guys are very much... Wow, 2 hits. These guys are very much like the ritual guy who was healing the Fool's Idol in the Prison of Hope. They're performing some ritual, and you're going to see what happens when we break the ritual. It's that big thing of flesh, and it's held up by chains. Yeah, we got to kill a couple more of these guys in order to bring it down. Oh, Widow's Lotus. Wasn't expecting that. And a Renowned Warrior Soul right there on the ledge. Those gargoyles do not have swords. Right here, we've got a couple more elevators and some fresh spice. So these elevators will take us down into the middle of a bloody swamp. But I'm going to tell you to go this way. Just be very careful with the drops. You don't want to roll, you don't want to run and take a lot of this fast. So right here we've got an Archstone Shard. And trapped in this elevator is Yurt, the Silent Chief.
Are you here to fight the demons? If so, then help me escape this place. I am on your side. I have come to face the demons.
So we're going to open the cell. And now I'll talk to him.
Thank you. I will remember this.
Oh, will you?
I am certain we will meet again.
I think that's all he says.
I am certain.
Yeah. So, if you have already talked to Yuria, you'll know that she said, beware of Yurt, the Silent Chief. And that's the guy. She describes him even. She says he wears a helmet with 2 horns that go straight up. And we are gonna run into him a little later. So this is a different elevator. We can't get back to the other elevators because we dropped down to this platform. So we are kind of going to be behind that area that we could have dropped down into. So I don't think it's possible to get lost in this area. It is a big, wide open area, and where to go might not seem obvious. But if you come down in this direction, to your left over here are these stairs leading up to the wooden platform. So these are the enemies that are going to come out from behind that flesh wall at the beginning part of that level. They're not particularly difficult. They telegraph their attacks, but if you're not prepared for them, they do a lot of damage. So the first thing I'm going to do after killing those guys is I'm just going to go left. I know that violates my rule of always staying to the right, but maybe I should change my rule to always stay to the left. It's just that when I'm learning a level, I always go to the right. And I think that's an old habit I developed from playing Wolfenstein and Doom as a teenager. So we got 2 of these guys, and they don't really come after you, I don't think. I think they just kind of hang out there. Oh. Their behavior is kind of weird. So we've got a plague resistance ring. Oh, don't fall! And some mercury stone shards. So the plague resistance ring basically functions exactly like any of the other resistance rings. It's crafted by Jerry. Soft ring bearing a dark purple seal increases resistance to plague. The seal depicts a rat's claw. There's only one area of the game that has plague, so how useful that ring is probably a matter of debate. And personal experience, I guess. A matter of personal experience. I'm just going to grab this really quick. It's a Stone of Ephemeral Eyes. And now the way out of this area is up this way. So we're not going to go that way first. We're going to backtrack a little bit. Augite of Guidance. And he drops some Mercury Stone Shards. So those guys tend to not aggro on you unless you make a lot of noise or you're right in front of them. Coming up behind them is pretty easy. Oh man, the sound effects in this area are just awful. Yeah, notice he did not aggro on us at all. I just walked right up behind him. I mean, I am wearing the Thief Ring, but they pretty much just attack what's in front of them. So over here we've got the Fragrant Ring. If we hadn't started with the Fragrant Ring, then this would be a really good boon. We've already looked at that. So the only other enemy in this area right now is another one of these ball guys. Ball of people. And they take a little less damage from my bow than the previous guy did. So I'm just gonna shoot them just like we shot the first one. And this ruined pillar thankfully provides us cover. And over here we've got some more Mercury Stone Shards, and I think there's something next to that pillar, but we need either a pure white world or a pure black world tendency. And some Mercury Stone chunks. And yeah, I do go underneath those tentacles because I think it's funny. So right over here are the elevators to that first tower. And this is where you would come down if you would just be coming to this area and not freeing Yurt. So backtracking back to the ledge here. And there's a renowned warrior soul. Oh man, I hate that noise. It's not as bad as the noises in the Valley of Defilement, but it's still creepy. So up here we've got two of these guys, and I'm just going to try and pull one of them, because these guys will come out onto the platform here, but they do go down pretty easily right now. Yeah, sorry about the quick camera angle, but there's a third guy up here, and sometimes he aggroes, but not today. And over here we've got Dark Moon Grass and a renowned warrior soul. And now I am going to switch to the Dragon Longsword temporarily, because we are going to run into our first Black Phantom Mind Flayer. These guys do increased damage, and they have increased hit points. And they're put into these long open corridors, which makes it incredibly hard to sneak up on them. Oh, you know what? I'm actually going to use Cloak in addition to everything else. I will, if I'm lucky and I get the backstab, he probably will not die. Yep, look at that. Only half of his health with the backstab. Okay. Actually, you know what? I did not test how much damage I did to the fleshy guys with my Dragon Longsword. So let's do that right now. Oh! How much was that? 81. And 90. I thought the Crescent Weapon did better. Okay, so we're going to stick with the Crescent Weapon. Switch my secondary weapon back to my bow, because we're going to use that in a second. Okay. And I should have... Do I have Soul Remains? I do not have Soul Remains. That would be really useful right about now. If you throw a Soul Remains on the ground right here, there is a guy on the other side of this tentacle, and he will come around to inspect the Soul Remains. He'll aggro on it. You can see that we've got a Crystal Lizard over there. So I am going to basically just take this guy out with range attacks, because I don't want to have to deal with him when I go for the Crystal Lizard. You know what? Just using Cloak again will ease my mind. Oh, maybe he's not on around the first tentacle. He's around the second tentacle. Look at that! And Crystal Lizard has not fled yet, giving me plenty of time to get up to it. Pure Moonlight Stone and a Moonlight Stone chunk. And right here we've got Fresh Spice. Yeah, the first time I came through this area, I did not use the Thief Ring. And the Thief Ring is just very useful around here. So, again, we've got a gargoyle with a sword, and he's on the right-hand side, so he's probably just going to hang out on this pedestal. But we also have a gargoyle flying in the air right here. You can see his wings flapping. So I think he will shoot at us. He's got a crossbow. I want him to come down onto the ground here, because if he will land, then I could potentially get that crossbow of his. Hey, look at that. He is gonna... No, he's not gonna land. Fucker. Look at that. He dropped something too. Oh, he probably just dropped a soul. Never mind. Rationalized the loss. Okay, we only got one more gargoyle on this bridge, and he's right there. Gonna take 6 hits. And he drops an unknown warrior soul. So come around to the left. Storied warrior soul. There's nothing on the right-hand side of this pillar. On the opposite side of it is another elevator. Which means, yes, there's going to be a gargoyle at the top of the elevator who tries to kill us. This is a much larger tower, though, so the elevator takes longer. Doot-to-doo, doot-to-doo. How's your day going? I'm killing a lot of demons. Yeah, sometimes it's just a waiting game. And there he is. See if I can get him to land. Yeah, sometimes he just hovers. There we go. And you'll notice I did the same thing. I just hit him twice, backed up a little bit, hit him twice, backed up a little bit, until he was dead. You don't want to spam the attack button because with this weapon anyway, with the crescent falchion, you move forward every time. So you'll go off a ledge if you rely on this thing. We got 4 more of these guys doing a little ritual, holding up a chain. So it's time to kill them and take their stuff, what little they have. And it falls. That is, I think, the creepiest part about that guy. And now, if you think that we need to backtrack the entire way, you would be wrong. There's a gargoyle flying right here. I don't know what it is. He doesn't always aggro on me for some reason. Oh, he did this time. Yeah. Come on, dude. Oh, I'm going to lose that soul. Oh, well. And these gargoyles do not have swords. Storied warrior soul. I always roll off that ledge because I don't know, something about it just worries me. Renowned hero soul right there. So this is where the archstone is. You can see the blue glow of the archstone up there. And when we come down this way, there's going to be one of those fleshy creatures. Ooh. Oh, he dropped some mercury stone. So there's only 2 areas left to explore of Upper Latria, and one of them is at the bottom of this tower, and the other is at the top. those guys' attacks take long enough that you have plenty of time to attack them and kill them. But if they take you by surprise, or if there's a lot of them, oh, I'm going to lose that. Ah, damn it. There's a lot of them, or they take you by surprise, you can get walloped by them. There's a guy right around here. Well, he didn't drop anything. Damn, it figures the one guy who drops something falls off the staircase. So, definitely go to the right here, because I think it's slightly easier to go this way. I think it's just a matter of personal opinion, but we got the Epee Rapier and the gold mask. And I am going to look at them really quickly, because we're not aggroing on anyone. So this is slightly better than the silver coronet that I'm wearing. It can only be worn by the female body type. A gold mask inlaid with a delicate design, reserved for use only by the highest ranking members of the secret coterie who plot to harness the power of souls. So that's the same description as the silver bracelet. So when I first got the gold mask, I thought that it would increase how many souls drop when you kill enemies, but I have tested it and I have not seen additional souls drop from enemies while wearing the gold mask. Hey, it's the Ring of Avarice. Oh yeah, I forgot to take a look at that rapier, didn't I? I picked up the Epee Rapier. It scales with dex and magic, slightly better than the spiral rapier, and it also does fire damage. A rapier used in rituals with an intricate gold design, wielded by members of the secret coterie who plot to harness the power of souls. Imbued with a potent fire spell, this weapon offers a partial explanation for why the group is feared as deeply as it is. If you like rapiers, that is probably the best one to use. Oh, I forgot to look at the Ring of Avarice. Where is it? Ring of Avarice. Obtain more souls when slaying enemies. Luxurious gold ring fitted with a large jewel. Once a symbol of wealth and debauchery. I only usually put the Ring of Avarice on when I fight a boss. So right there we've got a Stone of Ephemeral Eyes and a Storied Warrior Soul. He didn't drop anything. We're going to walk up behind this guy and take the Storied Warrior Soul that he's standing next to. And we have basically completed a circle. So this is where we came in. And that's everything at the bottom of the tower. Once you've gotten all that, you have absolutely no reason to ever come down here ever again. Unless you're playing through a second time and you want to pick up the souls. Or maybe you want a second Ring of Avarice. I don't know why you would, because you can't give them away and you can't wear two of the same ring. Having 6 Ring of Avarice in your inventory, that's where the real Demon Souls begins. Okay, actually, I am going to switch to the Dragon Sword again, and I'm going to prep my Cloak spell because we're going to run into our second Black Phantom Mind Flayer. These guys really suck. Now that the flesh wall is gone here, there is a little shiny Renowned Hero Soul. And I think when these little flame pots run out, that is the extent of his walking pattern. You can see him walking down the stairs. I think he will stop at that flame right there and then turn around. Yep, he's turning around. and he drops some fresh spice. And Cloak just wore off. You can tell that Cloak just wore off because the sounds of your character are muted while Cloak is active. So right over here is a storied warrior soul. Another tricky ledge to walk down. If you're comfortable moving fast, then move fast. If you're not comfortable moving fast, then by all means just walk. This is the fog wall to the boss. If you keep going around this turn here, there's another shining. And we have one other thing to loot after this. 8 aged spice. 8 of them. And you might be thinking, what do you mean we have something to loot? Haven't you been everywhere? Aren't we at the fog wall for the boss now? Well, there are things to loot in the boss's arena past the fog wall, but there's actually something to loot down here, and fighting the boss is going to be a separate video, so I figured I would show this off and then return to the Nexus and spend some of these souls that we picked up. Do-do-do. It's not an elevator, it's just a long frickin' stairwell. Okay, so right off this ledge here, you can see another ledge right down there. And, oh man, I don't even actually remember. I don't think that's the place to drop. I'm gonna have to double check this. Yeah, I think if I would have done that, I would have died just now. Here's the ledge. Okay, so this is tricky because when you go off the edge of the ledge, it might push you too far away, and then you'll miss this ledge and then die. But on this ledge, we have the rune shield and the rune sword. In a previous video, the last time we interact with Ostrava, I showed off the rune sword and rune shield that he was carrying, and this is basically it. If you don't get them from him during a playthrough, you can find them here in Upper Latria. So it's a primarily strength scaling weapon, does a lot of magic damage. A gold sword with an intricate design. Its physical attack is negligible, but it is fortified with an arcane force, protecting its wielder from magic attacks. The weapon of a great hero of legend who also wielded the matching rune shield. And yeah, it doesn't it's not that great. I don't think so. But that's just my opinion. So the rune shield is 100% physical damage resistance, has pretty decent magic and fire damage resistance. A golden shield graced with an exquisite design. The weapon of a great hero of legend. So it's pretty much almost the exact same thing. Yeah, I've never actually seen anyone use the rune shield or the rune sword in PvP or otherwise. So I don't think there's... The only way to get down from here is this, right here. And that leads to the entrance, the stairwell that goes down to the very bottom of the tower. So I hope you recognize that, because at this point I am going to evacuate back to the Nexus. And switch this back to the wooden catalyst, and now we get to do the lovely the lovely game of inventory maintenance. So if you're not interested in this, you could stop the video right now. But basically I'm just putting a lot of the things that I looted into Stockpile Thomas's inventory so that I'm not carrying them around, and put that extra Fragrant Ring in there. And then I'm going to pop all these souls. Pop, pop, pop. Oh, and you know what? It's been a while. Will she give me the pure faint stone now? I don't know why she keeps doing that. My faith is at 20. Man. Or did she give me... Okay, hold on a second. I'll look at my stones here. Name. Yeah, she did not give me the pure faint stone. She's supposed to give me a pure faint stone, and my faith is at 20. What's going on? So annoyed. Okay, so we're at the point where it takes 20,000 souls to level up once. So I can only level up twice here. And I'm still trying to get that 4th magic memory slot. And now look at that. It shows up at intelligence 24. So that's what we're going to do. And we are done. So the next video will be me fighting the boss of Upper Latria, the Man-Eater. Thanks for watching.